Hello, and welcome to the Passion Driven Pioneers interview series. I'm your host, John Channon, and today I'm joined by Maddie Murrey Tegels.
Yes.
Okay, who is the owner of My Own Ghostwriter. Maddie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on, John. I'm excited to be on Focal Points podcast.
All right. So would you like to kick us off with a brief background as to who you are, what you do, and the business that you're in?
I would love to because I absolutely love what I do. As John mentioned, my name is Maddie, and I am the proud owner of My Own Ghostwriter. And it is a ghostwriting company and a book coaching company where we come alongside executives and entrepreneurs who are wanting to write their own books. And we offer the full service from pen to publish ready, where we offer as much support as needed, to just the book coaching piece. The one piece that I love about what we offer is I myself have published my own books, and I've met with a publisher, and so much is promised and money is paid, and then there's crickets afterwards. So with My Own Ghostwriter, we really offer the journey of becoming a successful author. I'm the writer. The clients we take on I'm the writer. The clients we take on are the authors. And we continue on beyond that finished manuscript piece, and we give you introductions into publishers or self-publishing resources, whatever route you would like to go. We love what we do.
So could you share with us, what was that initial spark maybe that led you to start this business, right? The ghostwriting business and the audience that you're targeting too.
Thanks for asking. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. So when I was growing up, I had lawn mowing businesses, and I was always a writer. And then I came from a professional family, and my father said, well, you need to go to college, you need to get a degree. And I went and got a technical writing degree. And I was still pushed to do more. So I went on and got a master's degree in speech language pathology, because that was going to be the structure that was going to give me the successful life. And I've had a wonderful career as a speech language pathologist and have always been writing on the side. And a few years ago, I decided I was going to step out of the clinic and start my own business. And I had been private practicing, just little side hustles on the side. And I was ready to step it up a notch and really launch into full-fledged entrepreneurship. And I met with a business coach, and she had a husband. And her husband said, well, I'll be happy to sit alongside you and go over your business plan. And they had known of some of my writing successes. Like, I've been interviewed, my writing caught the eye of an Oscar-qualified filmmaker and an Emmy-nominated journalist. And they knew of my joy of writing. So when I sat down beside Dieter said, he's the business gentleman who was going to help me develop my business plan. He said, Maddie, he said, I know you want to do this. However, I see how you light up when you talk about your writing. I would encourage you to consider opening a business, ghostwriting. And I have a client for you. I know your first client, and we'll try it out. And so I took that leap of faith, and it has just filled my bucket ever since. And I love the field of speech pathology. I tell people all the time, I can't believe I get paid to play. But now I get paid to follow my passions and my focus.
Yeah, a lot of the business owners that I do interview have pursued their passions, and they talk about that passion, as really driving them and pushing them into the business. So tell us how you're satisfying that passion now.
I think there's a misnomer out there in the field of that entrepreneurs live in, and that slight journey that can take you down the wrong pathway is, if you follow your passions, you'll be just fine. And then these businesses are going to grow automatically and successfully. And so you drink some of that Kool-Aid, you buy that course, you meet with a business coach, and you still end up with empty pockets, goals not progressing forward, and everything like that. So it's wonderful to have the passion. You also have to have some other components to that, such as the structure, such as the realistic, is this a viable way for me to sustain the financial income that I need? And are there the resources out there to bring this to the point where I need to and scale it up? So I love the passion. The passion can be the fuel that's in the tank. But if you don't have an engine that's working, spark plugs that aren't firing and alternators that aren't delivering that current, you still just have gas in the tank and that's all you have.
Mm.
So for entrepreneurs, the passion is wonderful, and that's only part of the piece that you need to be a successful entrepreneur.
Oh, that's
I-
great.
I've found the pieces for me that work very well.
Yeah, so your passion aligned well with also your skill set and aligned well with a market need as well. So
Right.
that's great. So you're starting up a business.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about what that work-life balance is like when you're starting up your own business, kind of at the beginning, and then where are you at now with it?
I That's an interesting question. My first husband died probably 10 years ago, and I found myself a single mom working and doing the same thing, making and not really getting ahead. I remarried probably, what, 7 years ago? And I found myself still spinning my wheels. So when I went to my husband, my current husband, and I said, I'm going to start this business, he was not so excited about it. And because he knew that it was going to mean time and time away from him and just a lot more sacrifices on both of our parts. So we had an honest conversation, and I recognized what his needs were. Again, we're in a newer relationship, so we set some boundaries for my work, for my goals, for our life together, and the things that are important to us. We identified our values as a couple, our values as a combined blended family, and then we did some, what do they call it, block scheduling on calendars. And I learned how to establish boundaries for establishing my new business. I learned how to work smarter, not harder. I learned how to, as an entrepreneur, I have the vision. We're often the visionaries, and we also need that smart piece of finding people who can support us with those functional pieces. So I had to learn how to listen to somebody who said, Maddie, you're maybe spending too much money in this area, or Maddie, how about putting more resources over here, or here's how we can scale up this or that. So my beginning was a lot of listening to other people rather than me just forging ahead. Here's my dream. Here's what I'm going to do. So I think that was one of the biggest things that I did was I listened, I stayed true to my values, and I built a very successful business.
So how important would you say is it to have, the support of your spouse or your significant other or your family or your friends when you start up a new business?
It's important, but it's not the end all be all, because sometimes they don't see your vision
Mhm.
and sometimes they see their sacrifices. It's
So-
important that you have buy-in from them, because if you're an entrepreneur at heart, like I know your listeners are, so much of what you want to do is what lights your fire and gets you up in the morning. And so by conveying that to them and pulling them on board, it's important, but it's not the end all be all, because sometimes they aren't on board with what you're going to do. And so then you find your workarounds.
Okay, good. I'm going to shift subjects here and talk a little bit about, can you comment in your business how you're staying adaptable, open to change, innovative?
Yes, I maybe it's my years as a speech pathologist, but if I'm a very good listener, and I'm a very good problem solver and adapter. So for example, when I brought my very first ghostwriting client on, he was a big client. I was so eager to please and be successful. And I had a series of learning opportunities where I'm like, oh my goodness, he's hard to get a hold of. Oh my goodness, we're behind schedule. So I took what was not going well, what had become hurdles for this, and then I developed a system for them. Before I was a speech pathologist, I was a technical writer, so I knew how to create writing systems. And so for my own ghostwriter, and we also have a program called My Own Guided Authorship, where we don't do the full ghostwriting, but we provide guided, maybe it's, we provide guided authorship. Boy, that's hard to get out for our clients. And that is where we have everything in a vault, what we call it a vault. And it's a very, very detailed spreadsheet of the whole entire process of the book writing journey. And we also have tabs at the end for the publishing piece, which is really exciting. So we listen, we adapt, we identify the pain points, not in a personal way, but in a professional way. And we really see them as opportunities to improve what we're doing, because we know that when we improve, we're going to become better.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were talking a little bit before we started the show. Would you mind sharing just a glimpse into your future plans and goals that you have for your business?
I would love to.
Yeah.
When I first started off my business of my own ghostwriter, I was going to ghost write books for high-end executives. And then I had people who were coming and saying, wait a minute, I'm an entrepreneur. And then I had people coming and saying, I've already started my book. I've got 12 chapters done. Can you help me here? So we have three parts to our my own ghostwriter. And the initial piece is we are ghostwriters for executives and entrepreneurs who really want the bells and whistles, everything done for them. We will ghostwrite your book in your voice. And man, with our system, remember I talked about how we improve our system? We nail that voice for them. People are stunned. We then opened up another offering called My Own Guided Authorship. And that's where we have the executives and some entrepreneurs who want to be much more involved in the process. And we open up our vault, we show them the format, and we walk along and guide them, giving them critical feedback throughout the writing process. And the beauty of this is if we want, we can get a book done. We're shooting for a book done in 2 months this summer because we've got a deadline. Our standard time is 3 months. We just have a system that works. And so from pen to publish ready in 3 months. And there's some requirements on the client side as well that goes into our contract. Our contracts are very detailed, but I'm on a rabbit trail there. The third offering that we have is the book coaching. And that one I offer, I don't care to offer it, but I'm happy to offer it because we have resources and we meet one-on-one with people. I find though that system, people still languish for weeks, months, sometimes years writing their books, and it just doesn't get them forward like they like. It doesn't have that accountability piece. But those are the three pieces that we offer.
Well, I could tell you're really excited about what you do in your business, and that's awesome to see. I'm going to ask you, though, the magic wand question, which is if you could wave a magic wand and change one thing about your business, what would that be?
I would have started it. I would have started it years ago.
Oh, I love hearing that.
I would have started it years ago. And that just gives me goosebumps because I was always busy trying to follow somebody else's path that they had laid out for me. I'm a really big motorcyclist, and I know I don't look it. People look at me and they're like, "What? You ride a bike?" I've been on a bike for almost 50 years, and I ride a really big bike. It's a big Indian motorcycle. I call him Zeus, and I do solo rides every year. And I've set a Guinness Book of World Record with him. And last summer, I did a solo ride up to Needles Highway over in South Dakota, which is a technical ride. And I got to the top, and I I was at the top, and I was with these three older gentlemen who had been taken off their two-wheel bikes and they were on three-wheel bikes, right? And that's a sad day for a motorcyclist when you move from two to three wheels. But they were there and they were at the top and they were loving it. And I had this moment with them because they had the heart of a biker like I do. And I thought, this is where I want to be, who I'm doing it with, and I'm doing what I want to be doing. I wished I could have realized that when I was younger and would have so much more runway to create the stories and write the books that we do. I love being a ghostwriter because I love being behind the scenes. I am not interested in the limelight. I'm interested in getting my clients' books out in the limelight. So that's the advice I would give, is follow those inner visions, those inner dreams that you have, act on them sooner, and then involve those 3 points beyond your vision and beyond your purpose. Get that support that you need, but do it sooner. Life, my husband, I'm now 7 years older than he was at the time he died. So none of us have time that's promised to us.
Yeah, and we never know when that time is, do we?
Mm-mm.
So, knowing that this show is directed towards people who may be in their first few years of business or maybe thinking about starting up a business, do you have any final thoughts or words of advice you'd like to share with our audience today?
I do. The pivotal piece for me and my success has been working with an executive women's coaching group called Next Monday. I'm not sure if I can say that out loud or not. That was the group where I entered as a speech pathologist wearing scrubs, being told you cannot work. Don't even think of asking the day after Thanksgiving off because we own you. This is when we tell you to work. I went into that group and they are the ones who have just supported me, helped me see the business potential that I had, and connected me with those people to help make it come true. So find your support system, find those people who believe in you, who give you truths and don't give you Kool-Aid to drink that doesn't give you anything, but find those people that really are behind what they say and can help you in your journey as an entrepreneur to bring your business dream to life.
That's great. Well, listen, thank you so much for your time today, Maddie.
Thank you. It's been
It
a treat.
was,
It's been a pleasure.
yeah, it has been. It was great meeting you and learning more about your journey and learning more about your business. And to everyone watching, I look forward to seeing you in our next episode.